ladies and gentlemen, we are about halfway through our TOP MLB Division Profiles for the Major League season. We are on the AL East, arguably the hardest one to predict because you can make a case that any team can win this division, kind of, but in my opinion, it's a three-team race. I'm not picking the team that's going to be fourth or the team that's going to be last, which we will see at the end of the episode. We're going to go a little quick here because we're all, some of us are pressed for time. So we're going to start with the Baltimore Orioles. And boys, I'm going to tell you, I was surprised that they were the ones that got last and it wasn't Tampa Bay. But I forgot how much of a mediocre season they had. Their projected win total is...
with big expectations.
Yeah, with their projected win total, according to Fangraphs, is 83 wins. They were 75 and 87 last season, so big jump, especially with who they brought in this offseason. DraftKings, provided by Ryan, they're at 85.5, which I think is a lot more realistic. Looking at their stats from last season, they were not great in average, on base, OPS, and runs, between 21st and 24th in all three. They were pretty good in home runs, 11th, and stolen bases, 13th. A lot of youth on that team, so they're able to run. And then, the pitching numbers are not great on either side. They're above 20 in ERA, WHIP, Ks per 9, hits per 9, and home runs per 9. The best stat for the starters was walks at 7th, and the best start for their relievers was strikeouts at 6th. Everything else is just no bueno. Just looking at the memes real quick, if you haven't seen, the other Suicide Squad, the second one,
the better one.
Yeah, the better one. When Bloodsport meets Peacemaker, so Adley meets Basayo, and he goes, he's a catcher. He does exactly what I do, but better, and that's why Basayo got extended and Adley didn't. So, and then of course, Taylor Ward, go Dogs, saved from the Angels by the Orioles. Finally, he got out of Anaheim. Finally. All right, now looking at their losses, they did lose Tomoyuki Sagano, who signed with the Rockies. Gary Sanchez goes back to Milwaukee. Not really a place for him, considering they have Adley and Basayo. Jorge Mateo, who was there for a couple years, goes to Atlanta. Dylan Carlson, who they took, I think it was a minor league contract last year, signed with the Cubs. Grayson Rodriguez, they traded to the Angels for Taylor Ward, so they lose a young starter there. And then other catcher that they had play for them this past season, Alex Jackson, traded to the Twins. Now, they added quite a few additions, notable ones too. Taylor Ward, as we mentioned, probably going to be their left fielder. Chris Bassett, they pried away from the Blue Jays to help with that rotation. Pete Alonso's the big fish, left the Mets because Steve Cohen...
They made some moves, man.
Yeah, they did, because they saw how badly that offseason was last year when they brought in Charlie Morton and Kyle Gibson, and it went terrible. So they said, okay, not again. We're not going that old in the pitching market. So, I mean, Chris Bassett's kind of old, but he's not, bad like Morton and Gibson were last year.
You got the polar bear. You got Shane Baz.
Yep, they got Shane Baz from the Rays. You don't really see a lot of in-division trades, but, they got him. Ryan Helsley's probably going to be their closer. Got him away from the Mets. When he was with the Cardinals before he got traded, he was having a pretty good season, but once he got over to the Mets, things didn't go well. So, hopefully bounce back for him. Andrew Kittredge, who will be a setup guy they got from the Cubs. Leody Taveras, outfielder from the Rangers, as a depth piece. They did get Blaze Alexander from the Diamondbacks. Weston Wilson, who was like a bench player for the Phillies. They claimed him off waivers. And then, of course, to round it off, they were able to get Big Christmas from Cleveland. John Kensey Noel. Now, the starting rotation looks like they're going to go 6-man according to Fangraphs. Trevor Rogers, who is probably the best pitcher in baseball, at least in the second half anyway, as your ace. Kyle Bradish, hopefully having a healthy season this year and not being injured. Chris Bassett and Shane Baz to round out the middle. They did bring back Zach Eflin on a one-year contract, and then Dean Kremer right there. Their bullpen, as such, Ryan Helsley is the closer, Andrew Kittredge and Akin as the two setup guys, and in the middle you got Yiner Cano, Dietrich Enns, Rico Garcia, and then Tyler Wells as their long reliever. Felix Bautista is hurt still, so probably I don't know when we're going to see him, but probably
That's
not.
big.
Definitely not to start the season. I mean, I like their bullpen than a lot of other teams, but we're just going to see if this can hold. I don't know. We're going to find out. And their lineup.
There's a couple who's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their lineup: Taylor Ward's the leadoff guy in left, Gunnar Henderson at short, Pete Alonso at first, Adley batting cleanup at catcher, Dylan Beavers in right field, one of their young prospects. Colton Cowser in center field, Blaze Alexander at second, Samuel Basayo at DH, but knowing Adley and him, they're probably just going to rotate DH and catcher. Then Kobe Mayo, another one of their top prospects, at third. And their bench, Ryan Mountcastle at first, Jeremiah Jackson utility, and then the outfield, Tyler O'Neill and Leody Taveras. So, boys, what are we thinking about our O's here?
I look, they saw a problem and they went out this offseason and tried to fix it, right? You look at their notable free agent additions, I mean, like 1, 2, 3, like you have like 5 or 6 really notable names there. Trying to fix the rotation up, which is good, right? And then
In
obviously
every
adding,
different position too. That's what's
yeah,
key. Yeah.
and then adding Pete Alonso on top of it. When they didn't, I mean, like I guess they needed him, but like you know what I mean. Like they didn't really need to add Pete Alonso for this to be a great off season, and they did that. I would take the over on 85.5 games.
Yeah, I
I
think they're
think
back
that
to where they were.
yeah, I think they could easily win this division. We'll see how we predicted at the end, but I like what they did. The rotation is better. Hopefully, Halsey can be a good closer for them, and the lineup is deep. So I like what the Orioles did this offseason.
Yeah, there's a lot of mix of, like, it's mainly youth, and obviously you're
I would
better.
say it's a whole lot of youth. Is
But
Dylan Beavers like one of their top prospects or
I
something?
believe so. I would check, but we don't
Okay.
really have a lot of time to go check.
No,
I'll
you're good.
always have to
Yeah.
get back on that. But yeah, Taylor Ward and Pete Alonso are the veteran pieces in your lineup. I mean, you can also argue Tyler O'Neill as well. But yeah, I guess it's the bullpen that's a question for me. But like I said, I like the bullpen better than a lot of other teams. Like, for example, the Pirates. I like this bullpen better than the Pirates bullpen. All right, and now the race.
Yeah, I think I would go over with Rye as well.
Dude, what is that? Is that their mascot?
I think so.
Does this look like the face of mercy?
What the hell is that thing?
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a ray, but like a baseball, I
God.
guess. Oh wait, no, that's just like
That's just
the fish. Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's supposed to be a ray. Yeah.
Yeah, so their Fangraphs has them projected to go 79 like wins. Last year they got 77 and 85, so they just finished 2 above the Orioles. So the meme here, Dodgers dodged the title in 2017 and 2018. Asterix cheated when they win the World Series. Braves were brave to keep playing after the first inning last night, and then there are stingrays in Florida. I mean, that's it. That's the race. That's the perfect way to describe them, honestly. And then, of course, yes, this was probably the best meme I could have found for them. So looking at their offense, I think I forgot to do this one too. It looks the same as the Orioles, so I might have forgotten to do this one. It was late at night when I did this one, so I can probably go to the Rays on Fangraphs because I have the thing pulled up here. All right, so for their batting, they were 9th in average, on base 19th, OPS 14th, runs 15th, home runs 16th, and they led the league in stolen bases as a team.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and then starting pitching, not terrible. 15th in ERA, 9th in WHIP, 15th in walks, 17th in strikeouts, 6th in home runs, 6th in hits and 19th in home runs. And their relief pitchers, it was a little mixed. 12th in ERA, 6th in WHIP, 2nd in walks and strikeouts, 12th in hits per 9 and 26th in home runs per 9. So a little bit of a mixed bag with their pitching, but
Yeah, not all bad.
yeah, but it's the Rays. Their notable losses: they traded Josh Lowe to the Angels. Brandon Lau got traded to the Pirates, as long as Jake Mangum and Mason Montgomery as well. Christopher Morel left and signed with the Marlins. Same with their closer Peter Fairbanks. And then we just talked about Shane Baz got traded to the Orioles, and then Adrian Hauser signed with Ryan's Giants. And then their notable additions: Gavin Lux got traded to the Rays, so he's gonna be their starting second baseman. Steven Matz, former Cardinal, was with the Red Sox after the deadline, signed a 2-year deal. Cedric Mullins, 1-year deal after coming over from the Mets. Didn't really have the best, performance over there. So who knows? He could get traded at the deadline possibly if he improves his stock. Steven Wilson and Yandry Gomez, both relievers from the White Sox, acquired via trade. Jake Fraley claimed off waivers from Atlanta, but I think from what I saw he was with the Reds. They DFA'd him. Braves picked him up, but then the Braves DFA'd him during this offseason, and then the Rays picked him up. Justin Malloy was acquired via trade from the Tigers, and then Nick Martinez, former Red and Padre, signed a 1-year contract to be a starter there. The rotation: Rasmussen, Pepio, McClanahan. Hopefully he's healthy this season because he's been injured the last few. And then I don't know why I have Nick Martinez twice. I don't know
Martinez twice.
I don't know what I was on when I did this.
He throws right-handed one night, and the
left-handed.
next he throws left.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh man, guys, that is my beat.
Shohei Ohtani, this guy throws with both arms.
Yeah, Steven.
That's a solid.
Yeah, Matz as a fifth isn't bad, but he hasn't been that great of a starter the last few years. It's not a bad rotation, definitely, especially if McClanahan gets back to what he's been doing. Then their bullpens where I'm like so on. Like it's projected they have 3 closers, which just doesn't make sense to me. But that's what Fangraphs said. Edwin Uceta, I just remember him being on the Dodgers for a short stint, and he was not good. Griffin Jacks, he's good. I know that. And Garrett Clevenger, former Dodger. All I remember is the bad stuff. How many home runs he gave up. So, and then the rest, a bunch of who's: Brian Baker, Mason Englert, Steven Wilson, Cole Sulser, and Yandry Gomez.
I'm gonna be real. The only person I know here is Griffin Jacks.
I knew that's what you were gonna say too. That's crazy.
I know Griffin Jacks. That's about it, man.
Funny.
Or
You never heard of Garrett Clevenger?
Tyler and I have heard of him.
I have.
We've seen him
I
firsthand.
feel like I recognize the name.
Yep.
All right, the starting lineup: Gavin Lux at second, leading off, followed by Yandy Diaz at DH, Jonathan Aranda at first, Junior Caminero at third, batting cleanup, then followed by Cedric Mullins in center, Jake Fraley in right field, Taylor Walls at shortstop, Chandler Simpson in left, and Nick Fortes at catcher. And then their bench: Hunter Ferdusha, former Dodgers catching prospect, is the backup, Ben Williamson, infielder, and then outfielders Johnny DeLuca and Justin Henry Malloy.
Also a former Dodger.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Ryan putting the DraftKings has them less than the Fangraphs number, 77.5 wins, so pretty much around the mark they finished last year.
Yeah, which makes me want to go over if Fangraphs is projecting. Like my brain wants to go over. Yeah, the lineup is okay. I had Junior Caminero last year in fantasy, very good player. At times I had Yandy Diaz as well too, solid player, right?
Yeah, no, they're good.
Like
they got some guys. Jake Fraley's a solid pickup. I think picking up Lux is a good pickup as well. I like Gavin Lux a lot, and he did really well with the Reds.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an upgrade from Brandon Lowe. I'd say it's like a net neutral in my opinion.
It's pretty much same. Yeah,
you'll get less
more power.
Yeah, you're gonna get less home runs with Lux than you are with Lau.
Mm-hmm. But he's a consistent average guy that's gonna get on base too. So
I like the top 2 in the rotation. Like I like Rasmussen and Pepiot. So I like those guys. Didn't know a single name in the bullpen, like I said. I don't know, man. I just feel like if I'm gonna go off the DK Sportsbook line, 77.5, it just seems kind of low for the dudes they have. The problem
Yeah,
is this
going over on
division.
that would be nice.
The problem is with this division, they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. So that's like somebody's gonna finish last, and it's probably gonna be the Rays.
Probably gonna be the race. Yeah.
And it feels weird going more on a team that's gonna finish last in the division. You know what I mean? Just feels weird. But I guess they can get to 78 games. I guess.
Yeah.
Don't feel good about it.
No.
I'd just stay away.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they went 77 and 85 last year, and didn't make a ton of great upgrades, but a few. So probably barely 78. Yeah. On to the Red Sox.
Yes, the Red Sox. If you want to look at these,
You're telling me. Hey, you know me. Hey, that second picture right there, it resonates with me. Thank you.
Yeah, so we
Boss.
got Alex
Thank you,
Bregman
boss.
falling face first in the dirt, so he said never again and left for Chicago. And then
That's good.
And then LeBron, the LeBron infamous Game 6 LeBron. Yeah, whenever they see it's time to trade a starred player, they're like, or at least let one go. They're like, oh yeah, we're better at that than anybody.
Mookie, Evers,
Bogart,
God,
Sale.
Oh yeah, don't forget about Babe frickin' Ruth. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yep.
Bregman.
That's insane.
Oh yeah. All right, so their season rankings.
Surprised they haven't let Crochet walk.
They signed him to an extension last offseason, bro. They
know.
right after they traded him, they were not going to let him go.
Yeah,
right.
That's the one that they really were good with.
All right, so they are projected to win 84.6 after winning 89 games last year. 87.5 to me is a lot more believable from DraftKings. So
yeah,
team average, they were 4th, on base 8th, OPS 9th, runs 7th, stolen bases 6th. So, top 10 in a lot of categories, but home runs 15th. We'll see if that, takes a tick upward. They got a guy with a lot of power. This number could have been higher if Bregman didn't miss like almost half the season with an injury. So
also, if Devers was on the team the whole year, probably, right?
Like, that's true. Yeah, the homers are up more for sure. Yeah.
I'd maybe it dipped after he left. I don't know.
All right. For their, I was surprised on the starting numbers. So 12th in ERA, 20th in WHIP, 19th in walks, 15th in strikeouts, 20th in hits, and 9th in home runs. I'm a little surprised by that. Then the bullpen, which I knew was good, 2nd in ERA, 9th in WHIP, 17th in walks, 19th in strikeouts, 5th in hits, and 1st in home runs. So their bullpen was good. I knew that. It's just the starting numbers, I was surprised they weren't that great. And now I understand a lot of the moves they made to address the rotation, as we will get to here.
It's also like not. It's not really a pitcher friendly park either, right?
No, it's not. No.
But the bullpen was able to do well in said hitter friendly park too. So they had a lot of losses. Bregman, as I said, signed with the Cubs. They sent Kyle Harrison and David Hamilton to the Brewers for a player I'll get to once we get to the addition. Dustin May went to the Cardinals. Jordan Hicks was traded to the White Sox. Steven Matz signed with the Rays. Hunter Dobbins traded to the Cardinals. Dick Fitz traded to the Cardinals as well. That's why I have the smiley face there. Richard with the smiley face there.
I figured you'd.
If you know, you know. Nathaniel Lowe, signed with the Reds. Lucas Giolito is still a free agent, but I feel like there's going to be a team that's going to need him sooner or later. Justin Wilson, go Dogs. He's been contemplating retirement when I looked at his Fangraphs page. So, he's on that side of 30. So it's almost, it's getting to be that time. He had a pretty solid season last year too with the Red Sox. So, I wouldn't be disappointed if they brought him back. Reliever Brendan Bernardino traded to the Rockies, and Rob Refschneider signed with my Mariners. Now their additions, a lot of trades. Wilson Contreras, because Tristan Casas is still injured. He's going to be their first baseman, though I feel like later in a game, Wilson will be subbed out for a defensive replacement. I mean, he could catch, but he's been, I think, primarily a first baseman the last year or two. So I say he'll get replaced defensively, like late in a game if they're ahead. So Sonny Gray and Ranger Suarez, the two big starters that they got to shore up that rotation behind Garrett Crochet. Sonny was acquired via trade, and then Ranger Suarez signed the 5-year, $130 million. This was shortly after they lost Bregman. Right after Bregman signed, they immediately swooped in on Suarez and spent that money in a, I'd say, a position of need. IKF, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, after being with the Blue Jays in the second half, 1-year contract just to be, kind of like infield depth, maybe the starter for third base, but I don't think he'll be the starter. They did get Johan Oviedo from the Pirates. Caleb Durbin, probably going to be the starting third baseman after being a Rookie of the Year finalist last year in the NL. And then Andrew Monasterio, along with Durbin, coming in the trade. And then former Rocky second baseman Brendan Rodgers signed a minor league deal. You never know if there's an injury. He could see some playing time. So the rotation looks like this. Garrett Crochet, the ace. Cy Young contender, definitely. Ranger Suarez followed by him. So two big lefties coming out. You got Crochet, who just throws absolute freaking gas. And then you got just Ranger Suarez, who's just like I wouldn't say like off speed, but like he's not known for velocity. It's just he gets a lot of soft, weak contact. And then, of course, his postseason,
he has good breaking balls.
He's got a really good postseason track record, too, so that's going to help if they get there again this year. Sonny Gray, vet in the middle there. Then you got Brian Bayo and Johan Oviedo. Solid rotation. And plus you've got Tanner Houck coming back from injury and Cutter Crawford as well. So that's just more ammunition.
Yeah, I would say one of the best in this division.
Mm-hmm. Then the bullpen, Chapman's back after a stellar season as their closer. And then their setup guys, Garrett Whitlock and Justin Slayton. In the middle, you got Greg Weissert, Zach Kelly, Giovanni Morin, Kyle Keller, and then Ryan Watson as their bulk guy. So kind of a couple who's at the bottom of that bullpen, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They were good last year. This bullpen was really solid last year. Now the starting lineup. Roman Anthony, Team USA's left fielder, leading off. Trevor Story at short.
2-run ball.
Yeah. Jarren Duran at DH. Wilson Contreras batting cleanup at first. Wilyer Abreu. I don't know why there's a Y at the end. I might have misclicked because the U's next to the Y on the keyboard. Yeah. I think I accidentally hit Y.
You did.
And then Caleb Durbin at third. Sadani Rafaela in center. Marcelo Meyer at second. And Carlos Narvaez, the catcher. And then the bench, Connor Wong, the backup catcher. You got IKF and Andrew Monasterio as infielder backups. And then Masataka Yoshida, who will probably be the starting DH against right-handed hitters. But I don't know. You can probably flip-flop. They're looking to trade Masataka because of the contract, and there's not really a spot for him. And they don't want to play him in the outfield. So, I mean, that's kind of an issue. But he's still a good bat, in my opinion. So, boys, what do we think of the Red Sox?
I mean, they're good, man. I just
really
think
good rotation.
It's a good rotation.
It's a lot of ifs on the lineup at times, like there's obviously the consistent guys and guys that are supposed to be really good. But they rely a lot on youth, I love the Caleb Durbin pickup, not as much as Bregman, obviously, but still good. Young guy, a lot of potential. So, yeah. I don't know. I think they'll be pretty good. It's going to be tough to these last three teams here try and figure out.
Yeah.
And
really Wilson Contreras kind of doesn't entirely supplement Devers, but that kind of he makes up for it kind of. So I think that it's a good pickup. But
a lot of young talent.
87.5 is a big number.
That is.
They won 89
I'm
last
not
year.
sure where I'd go.
And I'd argue the
Yeah.
rotation is improved. I mean, I know the loss offensively is probably going to hit. These numbers are probably going to dip a little bit. But,
Yeah, but Sonny Gray's really good, man.
yeah.
Ranger Suarez is really good. Like, probably over. I don't know if I'll pick them to win the division, but obviously they are right up there with the other teams that we think can win it. So,
All right. All right. The second to last team that got second. The New York Yankees. Ryan told me before we started recording that they are projected to win this division. And let me tell you, boys, I've never seen a guaranteed fourth place in my life until I saw this team. So their offseason,
they have the second best player of the sport.
dude, they're
projected to win the division.
Yes.
Yeah, according to Vegas Insider.
That's
yep,
crazy.
They have the best odds right now.
We'll get to their offseason in a second, but literally this meme right here that he ain't do nothing but step back. That's literally their offseason.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same team. They're running back essentially. It's going to be a different bullpen. Like the lineup is the same, the rotation is the same.
Damn, they lost all of their relievers. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then of course the best I can do is Ryan Weathers, when that was like really the one addition they made that they didn't already have. They finished 94-68. They tied with the Blue Jays, but because the Blue Jays had the better head-to-head, the Blue Jays won it over them. And then of course when they met in the DS, they got curb stomped, expectedly so, and deservedly so. They were 10th in average. I'm a little surprised by that. On base, third. Not surprised. OPS, runs, and home runs first. When you have the short porch in left, I mean, you should be first in home runs in my opinion. So, and then stolen bases, 8th, but I'm pretty sure that's just majority Jazz Chisholm. So.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I know you're not high on them, but when you have arguably the best offense in the sport, like that, and the easiest park to hit in, you're gonna be, I don't know if you should be projected to win, but they're gonna compete for 90 games. They just are.
Well, here's the thing. I know you said like they have the second best player in the sport. That doesn't always guarantee success. Like, how long has Mike Trout obviously been considered the best player in the sport before Ohtani got here? And the Angels went like nowhere. And then Ohtani was there with them. And there were 2 of the top 10 players. And they still went nowhere. So it's going to take the team. And I'm not saying the Yankees are as bad as the Angels. But towards the end of the season, the Yankees weren't looking as great. Especially offensively. It was literally Aaron Judge or bust. And if Aaron goes down with an injury, he's like 34 or 35, something like that. He's getting to that side of 30. When he goes down, this team sinks. Like, the production, the offensive, capabilities dip. Astronomically. Now, the rotation, they were 4th in ERA. They had a really good rotation last year, and they're going to have Garrett Cole back this year. They were 8th in WHIP. Not great in walks, 25th and 22nd for the relievers. That's their worst stat between the 2 of them. Strikeouts per 9, 10th and 5th. Hits per 9, 2nd and 14th. And home runs per 9, 4th and 21st. Their losses, they had Austin Slater for like 4 games, then he got hurt. He went to Detroit. Devin Williams and Luke Weaver went to Queens. And already, just immediately, well, at least Devin Williams said, like, yeah, this is more of a team or something like that than the Yankees were. Like, I think that, I'm paraphrasing, that's not exactly what he said, but, like, he said something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jonathan Loaizaga, longtime Yankee, finally left, goes to Arizona. And then Scott Efros, who I believe was injured all last season, goes to Detroit. And Ian Hamilton goes to the Braves. Then the auditions table. And I'm like, this team's going to win the freaking division? Ryan Weathers is not a bad pickup, but, like, it doesn't move me. And then a bunch of minor league deals. Seth Brown, Randall Grichuk, and Paul DeYoung. Like, I'm not moved.
They didn't do a thing.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
bro.
I was contemplating just adding a table down here and put down who they re-signed, just so it looks like they did something. So their rotation: Freed leading off. Then you got Cam Schlittler. He's literally the Schlitt man, as we saw in the wild card game against the Red Sox. Will Warren, Ryan Weathers, and Luis Hill rounding out the rotation. Garrett Cole will be back at some point, and Carlos Rodon had off-season surgery, so he should be back as well. The projected bullpen: David Bednar, the closer, and then you got Giants legend Camilo Doval as the setup guy. You got the testosterone king and Fernando Cruz, who just every time he gets out of a big jam, just adrenaline dumps everything. Tim Hill, Jake Bird, Paul Blackburn, Ryan Yarbrough. Notable names, but they're relievers now. And then Cade Winquist is the bulk guy. Who exactly? The projected starting lineup: Trent Grisham in center, Aaron Judge, Captain America, in right, Cody Bellinger, who they brought back, in left, Ben Rice at first, Giancarlo Stanton at DH, Jazz Chisholm in second, Ryan McMahon at third, Jose Caballero at short, and Austin Wells as the catcher. And then the projected bench: J.C. Escara, who's one of their, I believe, their prospects, backup catcher. They brought back Goldschmidt and Ahmed Rosario, and then Randall Grichuk, who is projected to make the opening day roster. Boys, I'm telling you, this has fourth place written all over it. I'm hitting the under on 90.5. I'm hitting the
They
under.
just copy and pasted.
Literally.
Like, this is the same team. Not to
I
say
mean,
they did bad though, Jared. That's the thing. Is like they're
They
second
have
in the
94
AL East,
games
every
left.
tied
my
with the
issue
Blue
is
Jays
that
went to the World Series.
my issue is that all four other teams improved except them.
That's true. Yeah.
That's my issue.
No, they lost a lot of relievers, obviously, and didn't really make up for that. They're without Garrett Cole to start the season, so they might not be very good at the start of the
Oh
season
no, usually they are.
until they
They're
get
like
guys
the
back,
hottest.
but
They're
they
like the hot.
usually are. Yeah.
Every season, the Yankees start off hot, like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
No,
and
yeah,
then,
I
and then
know.
once June hits,
Yeah.
is when the lull sets in for them, and they think they start the fire Cashman, fire Boone, agenda, that the cycle of the Yankees. So it'll hit, but they'll probably start off great. But like I said, once Judge goes down with an injury, if he does, everything falls apart.
Hmm.
I still think they can win like 90 games.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like I just
It just
like they
it's
didn't
tough
make any they didn't make improvements, but like you look at the roster, like it's still really it's like really good. Like they're a good team.
Yeah.
And you're adding Rodon and
Yeah, they made some good moves
like
with Bednar, Doval.
your
Yeah,
off-season additions or whatever could be the pitchers you're getting back if you want to look at it that way,
yeah, that's
The
exactly
the
what I was
guys you're
thinking.
all going to
Like
get
the guys
back from
they got
injury.
last year
So, I mean, that's one way to
too.
look at it, I guess. I don't know. Uh the problem is, in my mind, if I take the Yankees to go over at 90 and a half, that almost assuredly means they're winning this division. Unless you also think another team is going to win over 90 games, and that's just hard to say. You know what I mean? Um, I'll say I'll go under, but I don't think that really matters in terms of them making the playoffs and getting into the tournament. That's what I'll say.
All right. All right, now on to the last team, the Toronto Blue Jays. And since October,
It's a lot lower.
they've had a lot of if you're a Canadian, shit not go your way. You lose the World Series to the Dodgers in heartbreaking fashion. You lose both gold medal games to the U.S. in hockey at the Olympics. Rui Hachimura hits a game-winning 3 against the Raptors. And then the Kings, Byfield, known Canadian, I believe he's from Toronto, hits a game winner against the Maple Leafs. So you are just absolutely going through it as a Toronto/Canadian sports fan. And then, of course, this famous quote right here, right after they lost: "I don't think the better team won the World Series." I just, God, this was.
I'm with you, Caleb. Hey, I stand with Caleb. I'm with you, dude.
Stop it.
All right, man. All right. Projected wins. They apparently Fangraphs has them at 84 after they won 94 wins, and then DraftKings 88.5. I think it's a little bit more believable. Yeah, they were like a hit first offense. They had, put the ball in play approach, first in average, first in on base, third in OPS, fourth in runs, 11th in home runs. But yeah, stolen bases, I was shocked they were 28th. I was shocked, but I guess they were just, they were like, we're putting the ball in play, and that's what we're going to do. We're not going to run into outs. So I think that's why they were 28th. Pitching's a little mixed. Starters were 20th in ERA, 17th in WHIP, 9th in walks, 14th in strikeouts, 19th in hits, and 28th in home runs. Relievers 16th in ERA, 14th in WHIP, 23rd in walks, 3rd in strikeouts, 3rd in hits, and 13th in home runs. The notable losses: Bo Bichette leaving for the Mets. Chris Bassett went to the Orioles. Ty France goes back to the Padres. IKF goes to Boston. Sir Anthony Dominguez goes to the White Sox. And Joey Loperfido traded to the Astros. And then their additions: the big one, Kazuma Okamoto coming from Japan. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Japan does not only sign with the Dodgers. They can sign with other teams too. 4 years, $60 million to be infielder, probably play first and third. First base whenever Vladdy needs like a day to rest and whatnot. Jesus Sanchez, they got for Loperfido. Tyler Rogers, the submarine pitcher brother, coming from the Mets, going to be probably one of their setup guys. Dylan Cease, who they paid a boatload of money to. I don't know why. I don't think Cease is that great a starter, because his numbers get worse the more times he faces an order. Coming from the Padres. And then Cody Ponce coming from Korea. And then their rotation, as such: Kevin Gausman, Dylan Cease, Trey Savage, Jose Barrios, and Cody Ponce. Their bullpen: Jeff Hoffman, Tyler Rogers, who's going to be their setup guy in the 8th. Louis Varland, Brendan Little, Braden Little. I might have screwed that up. I don't know if there's 2 Littles, but I may have screwed that up. Let me see.
That's wild if so.
Let me see if there is 2 Littles. No, Braden Fisher. That's who it is. So that's all me there.
You're good.
Tommy Nance, Mason Fluharty, and then Eric Lauer. So it's kind of the same bullpen as last year, except just adding Tyler Rogers. Then their lineup: George Springer at DH, Dalton Varsho in center. The loss of Bichette's going to be noticed, but I think they can supplement it. Vlad at first, batting third. Addison Barger and right, batting cleanup. Alejandro Kirk at catcher. Jesus Sanchez in left. Kazuma Okamoto at third. Andres Jimenez at short. And Ernie Clement at second. Their bench: Tyler Heineman, the backup catcher. Davis Schneider, utility. Nathan Lucas in the outfield. And Miles Straw also in the outfield. Now, this is the last team, boys. How do we think the Blue Jays did this offseason after such a heartbreaking World Series loss?
Okay. Obviously,
Made some good moves.
they doubled down on the whole rotation thing. I'll tell you what, man.
Yep.
Going out and getting Cease. Obviously, you said the loss of Bo Bichette's going to be felt. It is. I'm interested to see what Okamoto, is that his name?
Yeah.
What he turns out to be. That's going to be interesting, I still think, Vladdy's still here, Spring, like the whole crew's still here for the most part, right? So I think that they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be right in it to win this division. They're a World Series contenders still. Do you worry about a little World Series hangover? I don't know if that's a thing in baseball, really. We were
Could
talking
be.
about it before you got on, Tyler, but They're good.
I
The
think,
Jays are good.
I had time to think about it. After 2017, the Dodgers in 2018 weren't as consistent and only picked up kind of towards the end of the season, and they had to go to game 163 against Colorado. So you can argue there was a little bit of a hangover in 18 for the Dodgers. So there's that to think of, I guess, but I don't know. It's their bullpen. I think that's going to be a little bit worrisome because in the World Series, it wasn't just the Dodgers bullpen that was worrisome. It was the Blue Jays, and it was like, okay, who's going to, blow it towards the end? Their lineup's fine. Their rotation's going to be pretty solid, but yeah, I think it's going to be their bullpen
They
that'll
made some
get
good
them.
ads. I think I agree with you with Dylan Cease on paying him like too much, honestly, in my opinion. But they made that move and they wanted to shore up the rotation. I think Jesus Sanchez is a good ad as well.
Yeah, more
And then
power,
we'll
more
see
power, but
what Okamoto does.
yeah, I think the Sanchez move came after they failed to get Tucker because they did offer him a like 10-year deal until he took the Dodgers deal. So that's another loss to the Dodgers in the free agent pool, which they're like 0-3 on now. So, all right, boys, it is time to give our standings. Don't take long with the names because I don't have time. So if you just want to put the names, go ahead. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first real quick. Obviously, I don't know if that's is that how you spell poverty?
Yeah.
Poverty Rays. They're in
Yep.
last. Very sorry. I'm not putting the Yankees in fourth place, Jared. Unfortunately, I'm gonna put Choke City. That is Baltimore. Baltimore is gonna be in fourth again. Yeah. Choke City, Baltimore, City of Chokers. In third, I will have the Lamar Jackson Yankees. Aaron Judge's Lamar Jackson. He's going to choke in the postseason. Yeah.
Yankees fans don't even try to defend because all he hit was singles this last postseason, except like one 3-run home run in their one game that they won. That was it.
I don't have one for the Red Sox. Sorry, guys. And then, of course, we have the make believes, but with bats. Bang. Toronto's winning the division again. They're going to be right back at it. Yeah. Bang.
All right, Tyler, go ahead if you want to.
I'm just gonna write in the names. Rays for sure. I think. Yeah, I still think that Baltimore. Is probably fourth. I think me and Rye are pretty similar on all this. And then here's where I differ. I feel like the Red Sox made a lot of really good moves. And yeah, that's I think they got a really good chance.
All right. Interesting list
get
by
first?
Tyler. Rays in last, we all agree. I've said it. I don't think the every other team improved except from the Yankees. Them running back with the same team is just not ideal in my opinion. And like I said, if an Aaron Judge injury happens, they're cooked. So I'm not hoping Aaron gets injured, but it's a possibility because he's been injured before. I'm picking the Orioles to finish third, and yeah, I like the Red Sox a lot more this offseason. I think they're going to ride that rotation, and the offense is going to do just enough to win it for them. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close finish for the Red Sox and Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays end up winning it. That's why I have them second. But yeah, the Red Sox aren't going to run away with it. This is going to be a tough division. They're going to beat each other up, and yeah, like they're not going to be separated by that much in the standings. I feel like for most of the season. But yeah.
Nope.
Anyway, guys, that is our list. Tyler and I have the same winners of the division with the Red Sox. Ryan goes with the Blue Jays. And yeah, obviously we won't tell you who, would make the playoffs out of here until we reach their, our end of season award prediction / playoffs
Yep.
on the last Division Profile episode. But yeah, that was the AL East. Next episode will be the NL East. So the Braves, Phillies, Mets, Marlins, and Nationals. So anyway, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you like what you saw, what we can improve upon, whatnot. This is Ryan, Tyler, and Jared, Time of Possession. We will see you guys in the next one.